And we are back with the legends in the chat and the legends on the panel. I don't know whether we are legends of maybe Fortnite, FIFA, or what exactly YouTube. I have no idea. But with respect to FPL, we have some very important information that can be useful for all the players who are playing FPL or who might want to start FPL. So I will be providing you the details of a few things that is with respect to the FPL chips and more. Along with me will be John, the Rev and I. And before we go ahead, I would like John to introduce himself and where he can be found right now on YouTube and other platforms as well. So over to you, John.
Yes, so you can find me. I'm going to be putting content on my other channel, Revenite FC, so I can start the trip to monetization because my other channel has been caught up in all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it's just going to be too hard to get out. So yeah, you can follow me there and at the Twitter you see on the screen. I'll be doing FIFA content, football content, FIFA, Fortnite, just like Natesh said. So. Yeah, follow me. I'll be on Natesha's channel and Simply's channel and other channels around. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Natesh.
And big up to you as well, and big up to the people in the chat. Big up Andrew, big up Harvey, big up Cheddars, and oh, again you in the chat. But yes, so the reason we are here right now is, and the topic that we are going to address is, as there was a discussion going on in the morning about FPL chips, and Cheddar's first comment was like in the morning, there are a few players who aren't playing in the first game week. They're not playing in game week one. So what do we do about that? Do we make a team and then play a free hit, or do we have any other alternative? So let me quickly just check if I am able to see all the chips that are there on FPL of the on the FPL website. I don't know if it has been properly updated or not yet. So I am just quickly checking. I don't think the chips are visible right now. So, anyways, let's get into the chips that are present on the FPL website and let's have a word about it. So, yes, chip number one from my memory, I think the one first chip that you can use, and you can use this chip twice. It is called the wild card. So, I'll be also putting it in the chat. What chip we are discussing on is called the wild card. And what it does is it gives you a power to change your team, to make any number of substitutions in or out and change your team completely. Unfortunately, if you're a new member right now to the FPL scenario, you won't be able to see any of the chips on it. But this is one of the chips that is being used on a regular basis. And now they have given you two wildcards per season. So, guys, two wild cards. What you can do is big up before I go ahead, big up to George, big up to Chadwick as well. So, yes, guys, as I was saying, you will be given two wild cards where you can make changes to your team. You can change and shuffle your team completely without thinking twice, and you can bring in any number of players, take out any number of players, and you can have Liverpool players, or if Mo Salah isn't performing, like right now he isn't, you can always take him out. So that is how you use a wild card. And John, did you use your wild card last season? I know you joined a bit late. Did you use the wild card chip at any point of time in the previous season?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I did. I think the only one I didn't use was my triple captain, which was really annoying because I remember pressing the button, but I must not have confirmed it because I think it was the only one I didn't use. But I did use the wild card last season, yeah.
Okay, and which players did you bring in? Liverpool, Man City, which players?
I think it was I think it was near the end, like the third last week, when I remember Chelsea playing Norwich, and I did a full team switch, and I know I brought in a lot of Chelsea attackers, and I went and I basically got rid of my Liverpool players and brought in Burnley defense and all that. So that's about what I remember the wild card from last season. Yeah,
Yep,
I
I
don't
don't
think it.
even remember my wild card. It was
Yeah, I don't think it
Yep,
went
go ahead,
well,
sorry.
but I don't think it went well, but yeah.
So I don't even remember my wildcard because I think I used it in around January, the time after the restart. I used it around that point of time. So I don't even remember which players I brought in. But again, as I was saying, for for you guys watching, generally what happens, there are two wildcards, one in the first half of the season and one in the second half of the season. So you can make a random complete switch, complete change to your team. But remember, you need to watch out the fixtures that are going to follow. You can make one in the first half of the season. Initially, if you make a random team and you don't like it, my first wildcard, I remember I used it after game week 1, because the team that I chose in the first game week was so bad that I decided to change it completely in the second game week. So that is what I did after game week 1. So remember, guys, big up to you, George, as well. Big up Sankalp in the chat. There is some internet, so some power connection problem, but I think he's online on the phone. And he's also put in a comment as well. Lot of top 10K managers recommend an early wildcard and use it as well. So don't feel like you have to hold on wildcard for late changes. But yes, whenever you use wildcard, use it to set yourself long. That's what she said. But but yes, what I wanted to add to that was, now the thing is, now they have introduced two wildcards. If it was just one wildcard was the case earlier, then I don't think that was so much of a, like, it wasn't possible to use an early wildcard, because you needed to wait and analyze everything and then make the change. But now, because there are two wildcards, that is why you get that freedom. And Sankalp is adding, I had used game week 3 wildcard last year and gained a lot from it. Okay. And John, have you made your team currently? Have you set your team for FPL for the upcoming season?
Yes, I have. I have set up my team. Yes, um, but I have a few of those players, like you said, that aren't playing. So I
Okay. Can
wonder.
you share your screen so that we can also
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
up? Okay, and last year as well, we had two wildcards. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Before that, I think in the season before that, there was only one wildcard, if I remember right, and they changed it maybe last year, and that is why we have the luxury now of actually making those changes and doing that like on a different, at a different level. Things have now been changed by FPL as well. The only complaint that I have with them is about they're not making that budget. They're not increasing that budget. And big up Cheddars as well. I don't know why I can see only one person live, but there are so many people in the chat. And Cheddars is saying I took out Man City and Man United players. Big up to you as well, Cheddars. Yes, you took out you took out Man City and Man United players, but United was scoring almost every goal, every game. I need to also know which game week probably you did that. If you did that towards the end, I
Uh,
think you.
could he be
Yeah.
talking? Could he talk? Be talking about because they don't play? Maybe he's talking about this game. This game week coming up.
Oh, it could be. Okay, maybe you must have taken out all the players because of the fact that they're not playing in the first game week of the new season. That could be true. That
Yeah.
that yes, yeah.
Yeah. I shared my team. What's wrong with Target? Why is he not playing? Is he not in Aston Villa anymore or something?
Just a second. Let's bring that team on the screen. Yes, Man United are not playing in game week 1. Can you zoom in a bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Man City and Man United are getting that extra break. So one sec, I'll also zoom in on that. Yes. So yes, what was the issue you were saying with Target? He is not.
Yeah. So he's not playing. As you
He's
can
not
see.
playing in game week 1. Aston Villa is not
Yeah.
playing in game week 1. So that is why it's not showing there.
Okay.
And can you go through your team? You can talk about your team.
Yeah. Yeah. So Pope in goal, who's not playing either. So yeah, I've got Alexander Arnold, who's obviously he's a good bet as always. Hopefully he should be fit to start the season. From what we're hearing, he might be fit even to start the Community Shield. From what I heard the other day, from I was looking at the Liverpool Facebook.
Yep.
Robertson, again, I've just gone for mostly fullbacks because they're usually a safe bet to go in the defence. Uh, the Yeah, it's been a bit difficult with the a lot of the players being very high priced, and then like you said, there's not a lot of good bargains to get players on, so it's been hard to fit in players into the midfield. But yeah, I went with De Bruyne, Aubameyang, which don't really need to say anything about them. They were on fire last season and probably going to continue. Keita is a little bit of a gamble, but hopefully it goes well. Ndidi, then obviously Martial, who had a great end to the season, so hopefully he carries that on. And yeah, with Richarlison up front. Me.
Yep. Just want to add one thing, one funny taunt to you, that you don't have Mo Salah in the team.
I had Mane in there, but like it's just too much money.
Yep. And
This
can you
looks
show
good.
your subs? Subs? Can you show your subs? Yep.
So yeah, Martin. So probably what'll happen is I'll just put Martinez in instead of Pope if he's not playing.
Yep.
Um, well, actually, will Martinez even start now? Leno's getting again, isn't he?
Yep. He's getting in. And the other thing is Martinez may be going to Spain. That is the story coming in.
Yeah. So might have to do some replacing myself, but yeah. So obviously, White who's still at Brighton, but his situation's a bit up in the air at the moment as well. The Rice and then Davis, who I believe doesn't usually play for Villa from what I've seen. But
Yep.
yeah,
So you will have to get rid of two, three players who may not even be starting. And Marshall
yeah,
obviously goes out. Kevin De Bruyne goes out for at least game week 1.
yeah.
And
Target and Pope, but also
yep,
don't play.
target at Pope. So a lot of changes there. And yes, I will give you one suggestion and one trick that a lot of people have heard say it. What they say is that what you should do is you
Hmm.
should let auto pick select the team for game week 1. Just click auto pick, let it select a random team, and if you want to make any changes, then you do that. That is how a lot of top players who want to finish in the top 8,000, that is how they pick the team for game week 1, unless you are a very pro at it, and then you say auto pick, you are a noob. But yes, coming to Cheddar's comments, Douglas from Leeds is a good bargain defender, set price taker, and he's saying he's priced at 4 million. The problem with that is Cheddars. I don't agree with that, because you see, the thing is now, I think Leeds has a fairly difficult fixture, and we don't know how Leeds will perform. Let
Yeah,
me see.
Leeds are at Anfield.
Yep, Leeds is with Liverpool. Leeds is against Liverpool. So if Liverpool becomes the Liverpool of last season, they
Yeah,
might get hammered there. You remember what happened to Norwich? They
yeah.
didn't get hammered, but they lost it. They lost the game, even despite Allison going off injured. So I would suggest that let's wait for the Community Shield tomorrow, and then we can decide which Liverpool is actually showing up. We may have a better idea from tomorrow as well. And Sankalp has put in a comment, Douglas doesn't play regularly Cheddars, Johnson does from West Ham. So let's see which of those players. Again, as I said, there is a lot of digging yet to be done. Some of the cheaper players. The problem is FPL is messing around with this budget, with this damn budget. They're not ready to push it beyond 105 or 100 or 100, so beyond 100, and they're not ready to make it 105 or 110. So that is a major concern, and it will be a major concern for a lot of people. So unfortunately, no solution there yet. So we have to adjust, and we have to make the best out of what we can. So let me quickly share with you guys my team as well. So just a minute, let me get into the team. I haven't done anything. I have just put it on auto pick. So just a minute, let me zoom into this a bit so you can see what auto pick has given me. So auto pick must be a United fan, because it gives me Nick Pope and David Daya as the keepers. Further, it gives me Chelsea's Aspilicueta, Leicester Soyuncu, Manchester City's Walker and Mendy, Wolves Doherty, who's now going to Tottenham. It gives me Mason Mount. It gives me Sigurdsson from Everton, Madison from Leicester, Barnes from Leicester, Torres from City. It gives me Tammy Abraham from Chelsea. It gives me Richarlison from Everton and Marshall from Manchester United. I was just kidding about the United part. This more looks like more of a Chelsea fan. It looks like more of a Chelsea fan, definitely. But not taken Werner. It's taken Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, and Aspilicueta. And it's gone for three City players. I have no idea why it has taken Torres, and Madison is injured. That is what it's showing. He's not. He has a 50% chance of playing. That is why probably he was sitting at home and making videos of him and Chilwell. If you saw that, I had shared it on Twitter as well. I retweeted it. It was a good video. I'm not denying that. But what I'm trying to say is maybe he's injured. That is why he's sitting at home and doing all the time pass that he can. So Cheddars has just told me that he will be sending me his team. With respect to my team, I haven't really sorted my things out right now with respect to the team. So I will be making a few changes to that. So this is just what auto autopick gave me. These are the players that autopick gave me. As I said, it looks like a Chelsea favoring side, maybe because of the fixtures that are there. But I don't know why it has chosen Martial and it has chosen David Daya when they're not going to be playing, and even Nick Pope. I think autopick is kind of drunk right now. So maybe we can auto pick and then make a few changes to the team, and that is the right way to go about it. Because as I said, I have seen that a lot of experts suggest that at the end of the day, if you want to finish in the top 8,000 at the end of the season overall ranking, then you should try to go in for what auto pick gives you, and if you do that, you tend to finish in a higher rank generally. So, Cheddars, if you can send me your team, I will also be sharing that with the guys. Okay, you have shared it. Okay, let me just quickly get into that. Yes, you have. I can see that. I will share the Twitter. Share the Twitter. No women showing up, unfortunately, today for you guys. No women on my Twitter right now. Yep. So let me quickly go through Cheddar's team. Or John, do you want to go through Cheddar's team?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So got McCarthy in goal, which is solid. Got Tierney, David Luiz, Cody, Willy Bolly, Ziyech, Son, Aubameyang, Kane, Jimenez, Ings. So yeah, I do like the front six, that's for sure.
I
But
I will just add one thing, that he's more dependent. He's becoming too dependent on Spurs. He has no confidence in Liverpool at all. No Liverpool player.
it's true. It's true. I'm like, yeah. What is Cheddar's on? He's not even put any Liverpool fullbacks, man. Wow.
I think because of the fact that Arnold is injured, and I don't think he's too confident with respect to Robertson. But
Yeah.
could be the case. Let me quickly go into some of the comments. Cheddars is saying that I shall send you my team. Okay, that is that. Man City players can be planned in from game week 3. That is also true. And by the end of the season, everyone will have Torres on their team. Mark my words. And it was about the same team. That could be the case, Cheddars. I'm not denying that. But, right now, putting faith in a player right at the start of the season is a bit of FPL suicide, you can say. Like there is career suicide, it could be FPL suicide. But what I would like to show from this image is, I would like to highlight on something. Okay, it's become really big. Just a second. Yep. Okay, it's not becoming any bigger. What the hell? That's what she said. But it's not becoming any bigger. Okay, yep. Let
Well,
us focus on this top line, on this top row. So this is the focus right now. We have discussed what the wild card is. Now let's focus on the three the three boosters that you can see there. So these are the three boosters. John, would you like to have your say on bench boost?
yeah, yeah, bench boost. So you want me to explain it, Natesh, or do you want me to like my opinion
Yeah,
on
you
it?
can. You can also explain it a bit, and so
Yeah.
that everyone can hear you out about what bench boost is.
Yeah, so if I believe, bench boost just literally all it does is it just counts up your points on the bench, right? So you can fill your bench with a lot more starters for that week if you're planning to use bench boost. Maybe shake it up a little bit and get a few more players on there that have a chance to play, and yeah, your points get added to your total. The problem is I've always found the bench boosters are very difficult to yeah, bench boost is very difficult to line up. It's very hard to predict when your bench is gonna like players on your bench are gonna have a good game, and you can't some you can line it up sometimes with your if you like want to if you have like a good week and you fill your team up with great players and you have got enough space for a good player and he has to be on the bench maybe and they're playing a weak team you might want to use your bench boost at that time, but yeah.
Yep. I just want to add a few things before we get into the bench boost thing. My friend Samsung is there. Samson is there as well. I by mistake called him Samsung. Samson is there as well, and Samson is in the background right now. I will quickly add him. He's already added to the screen, but because we are focusing on the boosters, You will not be able to see him right now. Yeah, going into bench boost. Bench boost is barely simply the fact that all your 15 players will be playing. All your 15 players in the that you have picked will play, and everyone, whatever points they get, all of those will be added, and that is about that. Okay, he has dropped out right now. No worries. So that is bench boost. And the thing about bench boost is you can use it during the time of a double game week. Generally what happens is, because of the FA Cup semi-finals and the League Cup finals, what happens is the Premier League fixture at that point of time gets delayed.
Yeah.
So it becomes a mixture of three fixtures. Like, what will happen is, say suppose Manchester City has been winning the League Cup every year. They have a fixture coming up and they will suddenly be in the finals. So that fixture gets postponed to another week, where two of the fixtures get clubbed into one game week. And that is when you use your chips like bench boost, free hit, triple captain. At least there are two such fixtures each year. If you are confident to use these chips at any other point of time, definitely you can go ahead and do that. But remember that there will be at least two occasions every year where you will have a double game week for at least 2 to 3 teams. So at that point of time, you can definitely use bench boost. And John has already explained it well, what a bench boost does. So let's move on to what a free hit does. John, would you like to? Did you use your free hit last season?
Yeah, I believe I did, but I got them mixed up. So I just want to make sure, is the wild card the one which changes your team? The transfers you make stay in your team, right? Free hits the one where, yeah, okay, and I
Yes.
think I remember. Free hits the one where you get to change your team, but then next week it reverts to the one you had the previous week.
Yes, I will
So
just explain that for you. You can go with the triple captain. Yes, and Cheddars is just saying next week all the Liverpool players coming in, and he's also adding that I think Leeds will get something against us. They will score for sure. He is confident in Leeds. I think, yeah, Cheddars. And what will you say next? Leeds will finish in the top eight. Okay.
I think he's been watching Daniel a bit too much. I think.
But okay, that's an opinion, no worries. But yeah, so going to free hit, as John was saying, what happens is, free hit is similar to wildcard in one sense. You can make unlimited transfers.
Yeah.
What happens is, if your team right now, whatever your team is, you can make unlimited transfers. You can bring in all the players that you want, and you can completely change your team. But at the end of that week, your team will be back to the original team that you had, and it will it will be back to the original team that you had. So it is only changing for one single week. Again, as I said, there will be double game weeks. At that point of time, there will be a couple of game double game weeks. At that point of time, if you have a booster like, or a chip like free hit, then free hit can really take your score. Maybe it can give you 100 150 points in the single game week, if you make the right call, because you will already know which players are in form or not, and then you can make your changes accordingly. I think John also used this free hit last season, as he was telling us. Do you remember any key player who performed well once you got him on after the free hit, John?
Yeah, I think for me the free hits. I don't remember that well at all because I think I got confused with it, and then like I got confused with the wild card, and then I just don't remember. I don't remember, but I'm trying to see if I can remember anybody. Probably, I feel like I may have got some City players in that did okay. Maybe Sterling did okay, but it wasn't like a crazy Sterling week. It was an okay Sterling week. Let's
Okay,
just say
and
that.
Samsung is back again. Did I say Samsung? I don't know what's going on. Sorry. Samsung is back again. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know. Maybe my phone is next to me, so something is going on. Samson is back again, and yes, I've added him as well. But we're not able to see you. Are you able to hear us, Samson? Okay, I think there is some kind of lag.
Yeah, looks like it.
So, anyways, John, can you till then go ahead and explain the triple captainship for everyone who's watching?
Yeah, so I believe the triple captain is for 1 week. You just obviously you pick a captain like normal, and then you put the triple captainship on top of that, which will triple the points he earns.
Yes,
So yeah,
and also generally what happens is, one second, I'll just quickly add Samson. Samson, are you able to hear us?
Yes, yes, yes. So are you able to hear me? I hope my
Yes,
audio is
yes.
well.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. So, Samson, yes, would you like to explain the triple captainship as well? John already did. What do you think? What would you explain if you wanted to explain to a new player what the triple captainship is?
So basically, a triple captainship is nothing but it just triples your captain's points instead of doubling it as a normal captain pick would do. So yes, it's probably not a very highly rated chip in my opinion. But again, if you nail the triple captainship well, I mean, you could jump quite a few places on top.
Yeah, I think you had your chips saved in the last season. Towards the end, you used all of them, and I think you did finish in the top 8,000, right? If I remember.
No, no, no. The last season I finished 16K.
Okay,
Wasn't a
16.
great season, but I think I still finished well. I think I was languishing around 1 million mark around game week 25. So yes, using my wild card and my chips, I think I got a good finish to the season from where, especially from where I was. So yeah, aiming for the top 10K this season.
And one more thing I wanted to ask you, there is a rumor which is going around that a lot of people are saying if
Yeah.
you want to finish in the top 8,000, you auto pick for game week 1. Since you've been playing FPL for I think maybe around 5 or 6 years now at least. You've been playing
Yeah, this
FPL
this will be my eighth season.
8 season. So, do
Yeah.
you think that is a true rumor that you auto pick your team for game week 1, or it's just a myth? It's just a rumor going around.
Basically, people anyway end up using the wild cards pretty early around game week 2 or game week 3. So I think auto picking, I mean, leaving it up to luck could probably be the best thing to do rather than you trying and beating yourself up for making the picks that you actually end up buying.
Yeah, so I and John explained triple captain, we explained bench boost, we explained wild card, we also explained the free hit. Is there anything more that you would like to add with respect to any of the chips, or because you have been playing, as you said, this will be your eighth season? Any more tips that you would like to give? And you are also working on a fantasy based brand that you guys have started. So, any more tips that you would like to add? Like, because people are
Uh,
watching this, like they are
yeah,
fairly new, fairly. Yeah.
yeah, so probably just save your chips mainly for the blank game weeks and double game weeks. I mean, for starters, don't just use it in a single game week because I mean you might just need it later to catch up with people, your opponents in your mini leagues and stuff. So yeah, I mean, just hope and wait for the blank game week and the double game week news to come out, and then accordingly, yeah, use them. So most of the times, people just end up using their chips. I mean, at the start, just to gain. I mean, you don't gain any points, or you don't gain any rank over your mini league opponents at the start because it's just a 1 week punt that you're going to take. As I mean, you can't nail, uh, or you can't just predict a player who's going to do really well in 1 week. So I think what it does in a double game week is you just give yourself an opportunity to let the player play twice, and which increases the probability of him scoring or doing well. Similarly, in the blank game week, I mean, you just end up using hits and stuff to get in players. So like a chip like free hit could work pretty well in such circumstance.
Yeah, and coming back to John, because I am an Arsenal fan, John is a Liverpool fan, you're a Manchester United fan. So coming back to John now, John, is there any Liverpool player that you will want to have in your FPL team for game week 1?
Well, really, I would say probably my trusted players. I'd probably say to have is I'd probably say Robertson and Mane would be the players I'd go for. I think they're the ones. I think Salah's been off form in the friendlies I've seen so far, and with Klopp, he may do a bit of a pep, and I believe he was talking about the Community Shield like it was pre-season. So who knows what he's going to do in that game, and then moving on to the Prem, if he'll still take the first few games as seriously as he did last season, we might see some shuffles, but I would say probably going to expect the full 11. So I'd probably say Robertson and Mane would be my safe picks for now because we don't know about Trent's fitness, so he might start off a bit slow.
Yep, and Cheddars was saying that Leeds will probably get something out of that game. Samson, do you think that Leeds will actually do anything against Liverpool, or do you think it's just the championship hype that they're getting right now because of what they've done? Have you taken? You must have picked your team, right, or at least a rough draft. Have you taken any Liverpool players in
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah, I currently have two Liverpool players in my team. So I think Mohamed Salah is a given because he's priced at 12. And again, last season as well, Liverpool didn't do really pretty, they didn't do well actually in their preseason friendlies and stuff, but they still started off the season pretty well. And yeah, I still think, I mean, they are still fixture proof. So no matter what the fixture is, I mean, you can just captain the likes of Salah in any given game week. Adding to the fact is even on the penalties, which just increases his appeal. Apart from Salah, I have Robertson currently over Trent in my team. I mean, I would ideally like to have Trent, but however, uh, I just can't find the point five to fit Trent in right now. But I think Robertson is an equally great pick as Trent, because although Trent, I mean, people just say that Trent is on free kicks, corners, yes, but again, Robertson is on free kicks and corners as well. If you watch the games closely, they take free kicks and corners from either side. So, I mean, yes, Trent is a better pick, if you, in my opinion, over Robertson. But again, Robertson could be a great differential in the same manner if you look at it in that way.
And yes, John was also saying Trent is probably injured. He's not fully fit. But Klopp said that he will be coming back. So let's see. Everything depends on what happens tomorrow in the Community Shield. We will be probably finding out whether he's actually fit or is he not. Depends on how much time he's able to survive on the pitch and if he's able to complete the 90 minutes. Other than that, let me ask John first. John, so if you have to pick a captain for game week one, any random person, do you know, feel like which player comes to mind? Captain, game week one.
So this is like any club, right? This is not Liverpool specific.
No, any club for your FPL team. Whom would you take as your captain?
Well, a good thing would be because I don't have the fixtures burned in my skull, but um, I'm trying to think of any who do Man City have? I'm pretty sure they have a. I would say maybe a Man City player. Man City.
City
Oh,
blank
oh yeah,
game
City,
week one.
oh yeah, City play. City don't play. Yeah, so
They don't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Hmm.
And yeah, one more thing I wanted to add with respect to this time, since City and United are not playing at the start, there may be an additional game week, double game week as well. So
So
that could be another case.
yeah, because honestly, I'm just probably gonna go for a cop out and say I'm probably gonna say I'm gonna say Salah because it's not expected and you probably do some you probably score a couple of goals and then nobody's gonna expect it because he's been in bad form. But I think yeah,
I was
it's
going to agree with Cheddars. I was going to agree with Cheddars. They're playing
that
West. They're playing Fulham.
yeah that could also be a good punt, yeah, on Aubameyang as well, yeah. I
Yeah, we are
agree.
playing Fulham, so I was thinking of going for Aubameyang. But you don't have Salah in your team, so are you planning to bring him in, John?
Yeah, I'm on the fence about it because it's like a bad feeling, but yeah, I might bring him in last minute. Yeah.
So you have Kevin De Bruyne anyways to replace, so Salah or Mane could come in.
Yes. Yeah.
And Samson, who would you pick as your captain in game week one?
Probably one of Salah or Aubameyang. Because although coming back to your question about Leeds getting a result against Liverpool, I think they'll give Liverpool a run for their money, but I still think Liverpool should comfortably win it because, I mean, the Premier League as a whole is another different animal as compared to the Championship. Because I remember Norwich winning the Championship for, I mean, easily, and then they're getting shredded apart in the Premier League. Whilst I think Leeds won't suffer the same fate as Norwich, but I still think Liverpool will be too good for Leeds. And Yeah, probably a 2-0 or a 3-0 victory for Liverpool, in my opinion. And again, Aubameyang as well against Fulham should do pretty well. And again, with Aubameyang listed as a midfielder, there's that every possibility he might even play down the middle, depending on how Willian and Pepe and all these guys line up. So yeah, we could have a potential out of position big hitter in Aubameyang playing. So yeah, one of these.
Yeah, the problem with that will be that one midfielder will probably be dropped, one big midfielder, and probably you will have to get in a cheap striker then. Everyone will have to do that because of the fact that Aubameyang was there, and maybe Greenwood could be a more you can say a player that could go into more teams like last season he did as well. One more thing, I am hopeful that I think Phil Foden will be one of the key players this season for Manchester City. Do you think the same, John? Do you think Phil Foden is one of the players you will have in your team regularly? Because David Silva is going. So, do you think he will be the one, or do you think Torres versus Foden? Which midfielder do you think would you have in your team this season?
I, I yeah, no, with I think I would go Foden because of experience. I think Torres is more likely to have a more of an up and down season. I think Foden will have an up and down season, but I think he's going to have longer periods of success with assists and goals wise. So I think I would go with Foden ahead of Torres, but I do believe we'll probably see some good periods from him as well. Yeah.
And Samson, coming to you, whom do you think will be the better of the two this season? Will it be Torres
Uh,
or will it be Foden?
Yeah, I mean, Torres will, I mean, he'll nowhere be close to the first team, in my opinion, because going down the years, if you just look at how Pep has used his wingers and his midfielders, the first season is usually the season where he lets the player settle down, be it Foden when he just entered into the frame, or be it Riyad Mahrez, or I mean, even Leroy Sane for the matter of fact. So again, I think. Torres will have, I mean, he'll get games in the cup and probably the Champions League where they have got nothing to play. But again, Foden is a very great option. Is a really great option in my opinion. Why? Because again, as you said, he'll be a David Silva replacement. But I would disagree with that because I think he'll still continue to play in the front three. Because last season as well, post lockdown, he didn't play a single minute in midfield. He was a part of the front three, and I'm still confident that he'll be playing as a part of a front three, either on the left or on the right, depending on if Messi comes to City or not. And I think in the mid three, I think Bernardo Silva will be the one who will partner Kevin De Bruyne on a regular basis in the as those two number eights. So yes, I would easily go Phil Foden over Ferran
Torres.
Torres.
Yeah, Ferran Torres. And obviously, if Messi comes to City, Bernardo Silva was one of the three players who was listed to leave. Like the other way, go the other way unless
No,
it's a
but there was an article out today by I think it was BBC or Sky Sports where they entirely denied City entirely denied that they won't be letting Bernardo Silva in the swap deal. It could just be
Gabriel
Gabriel
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah, and the other player I think was third player was Eric Garcia. Three players
yeah.
there,
Eric
but
Garcia, he's gonna move for free anyway
yeah.
because I think he's rejected a City contract. So,
Yeah, he
Yeah, so
has
there were some
been.
speculations going around there. Anyways, that is not a concern right now. We are into the FPL show. Otherwise, we can have that debate about Messi or Messi not, or even Ronaldo. There were stories going around that Messi might come to Manchester City and Ronaldo back to Manchester United, which is a topic to discuss maybe on another later show. But yes, do you guys agree to the fact that Pep Guardiola hates Mahrez for some reason? Totally
Yes.
hates Mahrez for some reason. He does not like Mahrez at all. Otherwise, Mahrez conversion rate is so damn high. What could be the reason for dropping Mahrez from the team? John said yes. John, do you think that if Mahrez plays an entire season, Now that Sane is gone, he may have a better conversion rate and he can do what he did last season as well.
Yeah, we can only hope. We can only hope we can include him in our teams and not be like hitting our heads on the table when Pep's left him on the bench again. But we can never doubt Pep because what could it be? What is it? Does he not work back enough for him or something? It's got because like we say, his conversion rate is pretty good, and even great players have bad games, so you can't be dropping him for that. So yeah, it's a very confusing situation, but I wouldn't put anything past Pep. Just say that.
Yep, it's a very strange situation. I don't understand what is the reason. Samson, do you understand why Pep doesn't play Mahrez and what could be the reason? I mean, you know his FPL conversion rate is so damn high. If that guy was playing more regular games, he could have been maybe one of the top players to be in most of the teams. The only reason people tend to drop Mahrez is because of the fact that he does not start games and he's not utilized by Pep properly.
Yeah, I mean, with the Pep's team sheet, we already know that he's anyway gonna rotate most of the midfielders. So again, coming back to the fact, I'm not really sure if Mahrez was. I mean, yes, at the end of the season, he wasn't used a lot by Pep, but he still had his breakthrough season last year. And again, I mean, coming back to in FPL terms, it's just Pep Roulette, right? I mean, we're never gonna know who's gonna start. So I think they're priced correctly on the midfielders because Sterling at 11.5 and De Bruyne at 11.5 are the ones to go for because we know we're gonna get secured minutes at least, if not all starts, compared to the other guys, and compared to the guys like Mahrez and Foden who are priced lower. I mean, correctly, because again, we don't know if they're going to start or no. But yes, coming back to your question, I think Mahrez, whenever he plays, he's done really well. And we can just hope that Pep continues to start him on the right because yeah, I think he seems like a Pep kind of a player, but tricky first time passes and very skillful. And again, his conversion rate is pretty high. So yeah,
Yep, and the thing was, uh, I don't know what is the reason, but for some reason he over rotates. I can say I don't know what's the reason with that with Pep. I don't understand that, but sometimes it does hurt his team as well. And the other thing is now I have one question, one tricky question for John. John,
Hmm.
from a FPL point of view, would you keep Firmino in your team?
It's a very tough one. I'd probably lean to no because while he gets assists, I believe like Klopp's very back and forward with he the way he plays. He could play in the number 10, but we don't have another good enough backup striker to put up front in front of Firmino. So, and in FBL terms, you always get more for goals, don't you? So, and he's not the one to bag you too many goals, and he doesn't really have an explosive game either most of the time. So I would go lean against picking him, but you know, he's not unpickable. Let's say.
Okay, and Samson, do you think Firmino is a good choice?
I mean, I've not even looked at his price, so I mean that answers it all, right? Because I think while Firmino plays as a striker, he's not really a striker. He's more of a false nine or a deeper nine or a 10. You can say whatever. I mean, he links up play and he lets Mane and Salah do the work in front of goal. So nah, I'm not really interested in Firmino because I think it's again I've really not looked at his price. So I think he'll be around 9 or
He's
9.5 or something.
he's 9.5. 9.5.
I mean, 9.5, you get Timo Werner and at that price. I mean, why would you go and spend the cash on Firmino? So
To be
yeah, I think it's one of Mane or Salah from that attack because You will get better performing cheaper forwards at 6.5, or even 7.
To be fair, Kane is at 10.5, and he only got 3 more points than Firmino last season. So,
Yeah, but Kane was injured for most of the season, right? So you have to get that in
well,
the mix as well.
Jesus is below him as well, and he, well, we know.
Jesus, Jesus is shit, man. Don't even go there. I don't know what they thought about when they brought him to be a backup to Aguero, man. He can't even play in a championship side. I don't know what Barca will do if they take him. It will be another joke. Another president will probably have to resign after he goes to Barca.
To
Don't
be
even
fair,
go.
his work to be fair,
Yeah.
his work rate is pretty good. I mean, again, in front of goal is, I mean, he's pathetic, really. I mean, but
Samson,
again, yeah,
Jesse Lingard's work rate is also good. Do you want him?
yeah, but he cost a guy a lot of cash, if you know, by scoring on the final day.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
Well,
again,
we were keeping tabs on that. We were keeping tabs on that, but that is what I'm trying to say. If work rate won anything, then Alex Iwobi would be our legend already. So
yeah, true. But yeah, again, I mean, Jesus has to do. I mean, if he intends on being or even getting over Aguero as a number one city striker, he has to improve. I mean, by a lot. So yeah, just
yeah,
a wait and watch situation.
yeah, don't mention Lingard. Cheddar's in the chat. I think he's the one that lost money.
he did put in that bet 4 or 5 weeks ago as well. He did put a bet about Lingard probably not scoring a single goal, and he also ended up losing some cash. But it wasn't too much because the multiplier effect was there in that bet as well. So, but
Yeah.
he did lose that bet as well by a few seconds. And Schmeichel is the one that
Oh,
they were all abusing probably that night. What a sad goal that was. But anyways, the next topic. Let's get out of Liverpool and City for now. But yeah, I wanted to ask one more thing about. I wanted to ask about Liverpool to you, John.
hmm.
Out of the trio, which player do you think should be in your team? All of them are highly priced. All three of them. Which would be your pick if you had to take one of them in your team?
As funny as it is, Salah.
Okay. And do you think that Firmino will change things around this season from last, or do you think he's gonna get the same? And Cheddars is saying he did not place that bet on Lingard. I think he put
No.
the one where Lingard will score. I think that is the one he put in. So, anyways, he did. I think he did. You win? I don't remember Cheddars,
Or
but anyways,
maybe Cheddar's posted someone else's bet or something and
yeah,
then
he
picked
did post someone else's bet, but I think Cheddars did put the bet on, I think, Lingard scoring. That was what I remember. But anyways, yeah. So I was asking you, out of the two, whom do you think will be your pick to be the best player, or out of the three rather?
yeah, I went with Salah because
Okay.
as much as I would say Mane, but like I don't know. It's just every time Salah seems to just be able to pip Mane's conversion, and he just yeah I don't know. I've got a funny feeling about this season that he might just his form might just go up a bit this season, and he might outperform last season by a little bit, but. Yeah, if I had to go, I'd probably go Salah. Yeah.
And Samson, one funny thing I just wanted to talk to you about was, imagine the limitless chip in the Premier League. The world would go crazy if you played the
yeah, I
Champions
mean,
League. Yeah, you played the Champions League fantasy. Imagine the limitless chip in the Premier
Oh
League.
my God, yeah.
It would be crazy. It would really be crazy.
yeah, a lot. Exactly.
Yep. And also, I wanted to discuss with you guys now. Aubameyang's role has changed from an attacker, from a forward to a midfielder. Have did you guys, Samson? Did you see any other players who were pushed from a midfielder to a forward? Any noticeable names or any prominent names there? Have you seen any prominent
Yeah,
changes there to that?
yeah. The biggest name is Anthony Martial.
Yeah.
So he's been reclassified as a forward from a midfielder. Another one is Michael Antonio. Even I mean, at 6.5, he's listed as a forward for West Ham, and again, it'll be intriguing to see if he keeps on starting as a centre forward for them because Aller I mean he was doing really well and he's back fit now and he scored I think 3 or 4 goals the other day in the preseason friendly as well. So yeah, one of these two. I mean both of them have been reclassified as a forward. Uh, Rashford and Greenwood, another guys from Manchester United have been reclassified as midfielders because again, if you have Mane, the likes of Mane and Salah as midfielders, why not have these guys? Because then they play as, I mean, they play on the wings again as forwards, but again, they have to stick to the rule they've kept. So yeah, these were the prominent names. Right now, I can't remember any other big names, but yeah, anyway, most of us guys will have these guys in our team.
Yep, I think these are some big names and a few big changes that are going around. And who knows? They may put Harry Maguire as an attacker, which I had already posted. Now after this
Or
incident,
probably Harry Kane as a defensive midfielder. That is
or
what I
maybe
was expecting.
Lacazette as well. Lacazette as a defensive midfielder could be coming in as well. So yes, there are a few changes expected, and let's see what the transfer window does as well. Like as we know, Doherty is going to Spurs. That is the apparent rumor going around. And apart from that, if you can
No, it's
see,
already done. It's already done.
was it confirmed by Spurs? I did not see the final confirmation on their Twitter.
I guess, but if not done, I think it's almost done. So
Yep, I
yeah,
read the almost done part, but I did not see the official confirmation. I did not see any tweets going out or from Spurs or any.
I basically saw a tweet from a third party. I don't really remember which one, which stated it's confirmed. So yeah, but again, so Ori is moving out to I think Milan or yeah, I guess
Okay.
it's Milan. So yeah,
Yeah, I think they're getting rid of the trash defender finally. The guy who was
finally.
expected to do a lot of things. Yes, and I think Gabriel. There is an image circulating about Gabriel as well for Arsenal. He's signing a contract, but it's not officially announced yet. So probably that will be coming out soon as well, and he will be also a good pick for a few FPL teams. Uh, let's wind up with one last question to you guys, and then let's conclude the show right now because it's almost reached an hour. John, I'll start with you. Do you think Kyron Tierney will replace Robertson in a lot of teams?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna say no because I think a lot of people are going to be. I think in the nature of FPL, there's a lot of people that will go for the surefires, and because Robertson has been so decent these last couple of seasons, that people might take longer to replace him in teams. So I don't think you'll get the few that are daring to do it, but I don't think on most people won't do it. It's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, and coming to Samson, do you think it could happen because the way that he finished off the last season and he gives a more attacking approach to the team as well? Robertson wasn't involved that much.
No, I beg to differ. I think Robertson created the most chances among all defenders post lockdown. And again, coming back to Kieran Tierney, I think um, clean sheets are the bread and butter of every defense, right? So I think unless Arsenal show decent, I mean, defending stats or even keeping clean sheets, I really doubt people. I mean, people might. Most of the Arsenal fans might, but most of the FPL, I mean, the guys who are really into it won't because Robertson is still proven, and again, he plays for apparently the best team in the league. And yes, so I still think Robertson will be much more owned than Tierney. But again, having said that, I still think Tierney is a great differential for anyone willing to spend 5.5, right? So, yeah, I mean, the first two fixtures are pretty decent, and I think they have a difficult fixture after that. But I still think 5.5, he could be a decent differential. We'll have to wait and watch.
Yep, and I remember one question which I wanted to add now to this as well. Defenders, it's about defenders. Would you guys take Thiago Silva in your team? I'll start with Samson this time. Would you take a Thiago Silva in your team, or you would only fit him in like in the subs on the bench, just as a player who might come in cheap?
No, you mean in my FPL squad, you mean, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
FPL
no,
squad.
I really won't go near any Chelsea defender unless they show
Okay,
any kind of defensive improvement. Because last season they had conceded the most chances and number of shots among all the top 10 sides, and I am not really sure how Thiago Silva, apart from being the captain, or I mean the captain figure, although he's not going to be the captain, how he's going to improve that side. And also, I mean, if Kai Havertz comes in and if he plays as a number 10, the midfield is going to be pretty void. So I think whilst they'll be scoring a lot of goals, I think they will still be conceding those many goals as well. So I'm really doubtful regarding the defense. So I won't go anywhere close to any Chelsea defender as of now.
okay. And John Samson has said that he won't be going near any Chelsea defender. But I will ask you, if you had to take one Chelsea defender right now, which Chelsea defender would you consider? Sar is going out on loan, Chilwell is in, and you know the rest of the team. Thiago Silva is in. Any one Chelsea defender, if you had to pick, you had no choice. You had to take a Chelsea player. Which defender would you take for your FPL team?
I mean, if we're, I mean, if we're going, I'd probably go for Reece James because it's probably more likely for an assist or something. But like Samson said, all of those defenders can't defend. So, I mean, we know Zuma has some potential, but he's also got a lot of deficiencies, and people are saying that maybe he'll play well with Thiago Silva because of the slow defender that knows the game with the fast defender who's a bit reckless, but that doesn't prove anything until we see it. So, yeah, I would go Reece James if I had to pick somebody.
You're
The
not
only
going with
problem
Aston.
with the only
Go ahead,
problem
sorry.
with Reece James over here would be Aspilicueta could play at right
Yeah,
back in any given game.
That's true.
I mean, Chilwell is going to be I mean, he's going to be the most nailed on pick in that
big up.
back four. So yes,
Yeah, I was just gonna say you broke my heart. You didn't pick Aspilicueta. The Chelsea fans will start rioting now. They will send rockets towards your house.
I think it's more like Samson says. I just don't think about the Chelsea defense ever, so that's been quite completely went through my head. Just completely forgot.
Yes, if you remember, we did pick him to against that
Yeah,
Norwich team when we were expecting them to do something and score a few goals, but they didn't deliver. That is a different thing. But we were expecting Aspilicueta to do something. I think he still ended up getting a clean sheet in that game. And big
he
up to
did.
Miss
Yes.
Molina
yeah,
again.
I
And
guess it was a
just
1-0 victory.
Yes. Big up and hope you're all well. I'm having some dosa for lunch at a restaurant. Hope you're all well. She's having dosa in Canada now. Miss Melina, it's Kevin's birthday today, and he's saying that Arsenal is going to beat Liverpool today. So let's see what happens with respect to that. And yes, before we wrap up the video, again, a big happy birthday to Kevin as well. He's probably going to smoke some weed or something on live stream today, or be drunk as hell. So let's see. Let's not go into that right now. Maybe we'll have to get into that once he's on the watch along for the Arsenal versus Liverpool game. And yes, before I wrap it up, John, can you please give a shout out to your channel, and then Samson, where can people find you and what are you planning to do with respect to your channel as well? Again, before we wrap it up.
All right, yeah. So you can find me on Revenite Space FC for my videos. I'll be uploading on there promptly. I've had to switch account because of what I said earlier with all the monetization problems and all that. But yeah, you can also find me on T Revenite on Twitter as well. And yeah, I'll be on hopefully on a lot more of these shows and a lot more watch alongs and all that type of stuff. Yeah, but thanks for having me on.
Big up to you as well. And Samson, where can people find you? I know that you have that Twitter account where you keep sharing stuff about fantasy football, but are you guys doing anything apart from that as well?
So I'm planning to post some videos on my Instagram as well. My personal Instagram account, so it's SamUFC underscore 844. And also I'll be sharing it on my Twitter account, that is at the rate Barreto Samson. So yes, just let's just wait for the season to start, and hoping for a great community shield tomorrow.
Yep, and also your brand ID, which was Center Fantasy, right? You can give it a shout out as well.
Yes, yeah, we are not really active on that right now. Although I do write and write articles, and we have podcasts on EADF, that is LR Del Football, EADF. So you can search upon it on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, and what you can also do is you can once the video is over, obviously you can just post a message, a comment on the video as well, and put in all those credentials in one single place, so that if anyone wants to follow them, they can definitely follow you on Twitter as well. And I had tagged you earlier in the video as well when I shared it on Twitter, so you can retweet it out so that people can also find you there from that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and yes, we have had our discussion about chips, and now we are having discussion about McDonald's. And probably I should have named the video "Fish and Chips." But then, with respect to the chips, we discussed and gave you all the information. For any new FPL players out there, you can get an idea if you see this first half of the video. We talked about all the possible chips and the best use that you can put them to, and we wish you all the best for the upcoming FPL season. And John, I wish you best for tomorrow's Community Shield as well. You can follow us, guys, for more videos on Beyond the Post on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And also, if you are an Arsenal fan or you want to get all the latest updates of Arsenal, you can follow me on Arsenal FC Fans on Facebook. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you to everyone on the panel, everyone on the chat. Big up to you as well. I think John and I are going to get into some Fortnite later in the night, and you can join in for that as well on the channel. I already did a FIFA stream, and maybe next fortnight. So thank you, Samson, once again. We'll probably have you on a few more streams of FPL. Simpy and I are doing these streams regularly. He has a channel, Simpy 141, which he's now converted to just Simpy. So we will be. I'll definitely get you in touch with that. And you are, as you know, already part of the Fantasy Premier League as well, the tournament going on, and he's there as well. Hopefully, John can join us soon as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good day. And for some of you, have a good night. Be home and be safe. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.